All right, this is my first time going live on YouTube, so we're going to see how this works. I'm going to be building out an automation today, and so going live, I'll hang out here for a couple minutes, see if anybody joins. If not, I'm just going to build anyways, and I'm going to have some fun and see if I probably do more of this in the future. All right, so just hang out a couple minutes, I'm just kind of exploring around to see. All right, hey, looks like somebody just joined. Hey. All right, so this is my first time going live on YouTube. I'm going to be building something live today, just wanting to test this out and try something new. So I'm just kind of hanging out for a couple minutes and see if other people join. If not, I'm going to be building anyways. Feel free if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the chat here, but I'm going to be using make.com today. I'm going to build an automation where I can just speak into Slack. That's what I'm going to use today, Slack, and then automatically transcribe the voice and then produce an output going through AI and then a Slack message back. Hey, thanks, Jerry. Yeah, cool. All right. So yeah, I think I'm just going to get started now. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to hop into make.com. Let's go ahead and do entire screen. I think I'll do, let's see. Let's do this differently. Oh no, I'll share here. Share the entire screen. Then I'll just bring this over here. Yeah, there we go. All right. Bear with me as I get this set up. Okay. All right. So first off, I do have this. I did a little bit of planning before this. I just kind of planned what I kind of want it to look like and my idea for it. So I actually had built this out, sort of. I built a part of this probably like a year ago. Didn't fully finish it, didn't fully use it. So now I've had this idea and learned more about AI, more about automations. So I'm going to build this out. So here, my idea over here is that from Slack, we're going to do a voice memo or pasted text or URL. And then it's going to go into Make. So it'll be a router because the first thing it'll determine is if it's a voice memo, then it'll go through the OpenAI Whisper. So it'll transcribe the audio. Then it's going to go into a make agent, where then the make agent is going to just determine which path to go down. Is it going to create? Is it for creating a social media post? Is it for creating an email? Maybe just an idea or a brain dump, or maybe you want to do research on something. And so I'm going to be using Claude because I find that Claude is one of the best ones out there now for writing content, social media, email ideas, or social media, email, things like that. I could use the idea of brain dump. Either one can be for Perplexity, Claude, or GPT. But as far as content writing, I feel it's better for Claude. And then Perplexity is better for research. Now, I think Gemini is also up there as well, but I haven't gotten into using Gemini API yet, so maybe that will be another time. But in the meantime, here we're going to use Perplexity to do research. I'll have it scrape whatever URL we put in there. Then after that, the output is going to either provide like what the social media should look like, what the email should look like based on these prompts, or then the idea, the brain dump will be, I'll have it output maybe like a one sentence summary of what it is, and then another section will be more of like a kind of description, a summary of what the idea was, and then I'm thinking like a third part in there will be the raw transcript. So that will then I'll have all that go into an Airtable or a Google Sheet, and then it'll send back to Slack as a thread, a response in there. So that's kind of the idea I have here, and that's what I'm going to we're going to build this out using this. All right. So first thing we need to do is, I could do Telegram as well, but I'm going to just do Slack for this one. So I'm going to choose new scenario here, and we're going to add Slack. And what I'm going to do is there are different ways to watch messages. Now this ACID, if you don't know, this ACID means that Make has to go and check Slack for anything new. It's Make checking Slack versus Slack sending information. So we're going to go down to the one down here, which is right here, watch new events instant. So this would be as soon as there's a message in Slack, it'll send it to Make. So watch new events. And then, so now we need to create a webhook. So webhook is, it'll be webhook in that specific channel. So we're going to say voice to Make, something like that. I'll just do live so I know for my live stream. I'm going to say new private channel message. And first I'm going to have to create the channel. So I'll do that real quick. Go to my Slack. And then channel. Create a channel. I'm going to call it voice to, let's call it voice to Slack. All right, so I created that private channel. Now over here, let's see, it should show up. We'll say voice to Slack. There we go. So now by doing this, this is going to create a webhook, and it will watch for every new message that comes into that specific Slack channel. And so now after this, what we can do is I'll just click save. But now I can open up Slack. How can I open a new window? Okay, here we go. So here's Slack. I'm just going to say send a message, test it out, bring this back over here. And now we should have, if I back out, there we go, one record in queue. Perfect. So that's already working there. And if I just run once, use existing data, and there we go. Now we have the details of that Slack message. And if we look, the message, I just said hello, so it is right here. Good. So that's working there. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a router. So I'm going to add a router in here, flow control router. And so this now we can branch off into different branches. And what we're going to look for, I'm going to put a filter in here, and this filter is going to be transcription. So then what data do we have here? This is coming from Slack, so we have the text, user. We scroll down, there should be, let's see, we should have, okay, so it's just text, right? Oh, that's right. If we're going to do the voice memo, I'll have to test that one as well. So I'll save this. I'm going to save this here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Slack up. We're actually going to dictate a message real quick. Hey, so this is a dictation message I'm sending to Slack, which we're testing this out, and this is going to go into make.com. So I just did a quick voice memo, send that voice memo, and now the voice memo is sent over. Okay, so now we should have another record in queue. Now what we're going to do is going to right click here. I'm just going to run once, use existing data, and now we have this data here. So this data we can look and we can see now there's actually files. So what we can do here is we can use this file, then we can download the transcript and transcribe it. So now we come over to our filter here, and we're going to say if, we go files, we'll just say pretty much any one of these. Yeah, we'll just do ID. Now we're going to do this. We're going to say Slack audio So we're going to select audio and we're going to choose if it exists. So if it exists, if there's data here, then it'll go down this path. And then this, we're going to use OpenAI, and we are going to scroll down and find Whisper, because we're going to transcribe. So that's a translation, generate transcription, transcribe audio to text. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to go here. Now, if you haven't created a OpenAI account yet, well, you have to go to platform.openai.com, and then you can create a connection and make, I'm not going to show that right here. I've already done that, but also we just want to get through this, the major points of this build. So I'll just use this project that I have here already, and we're going to, before I do that, I forgot. We need to actually download the file first. So what we're going to do, I'm going to add a module in here, right click on the branch, add a module. And now we're going to go into Slack, and there's actually a file. So get a file. What we're doing is we're going to get a file ID. So now we need to come back into the Slack message, go down to the file section, and we'll get the file ID right here. Return file content. Hey, what's up, Mitchell? Thanks for joining. Nice to see you here. Okay, so yeah, welcome. This is my first time going live on YouTube. Wanted to try something new, so here I am, building something out live. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them, and let's build this thing. All right, so here, return file content. Yes, I want to return the file content. So we're going to do that. We're going to check yes, and then we're going to save. Now what I'm going to do is first going to unlink this. And now a cool feature that finally, I don't know why Make took so long to add it, but they did add the feature, I think a couple of weeks ago, where you can run a previous data that you already had. So now I can come down here. Before, I used to set something up where I would cause the automation to automatically break so that it stays in queue, and then I can run it multiple times. But now you can do that without doing that workaround that I was doing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on the drop down. Hey, greetings from Reno. Huh. Awesome to see you here. Welcome. Yeah, no worries, Mitchell. I will show you what I'm building. So do a quick recap. What this is, I kind of built this out about a year ago, didn't really finish it, and so really haven't used it. So I decided to go build it out now. A lot of times just having, ideas that come to your head, or wanting to write an email, social media post, brain dump ideas. A lot of times I've been doing a lot of dictation lately. And so the idea here is open up Slack and send either a voice memo in Slack, or paste in some copied text, or type something in, or maybe even a URL. And then what it'll do is go down a router. If it's a voice memo, I'll have it transcribe the voice memo. Then I'll have it go into a make agent, or if it's text or whatever, it's going to go into the agent. But either way, it's going to go to the agent, and what that's going to do is determine which path to go down. Is it a social media post that we're creating? Is it an email? Is it just an idea, a brain dump? Or is it research on something? And then it'll go into one of the AIs, and from there we'll have a prompt in there to output a specific type of output that we want. And then I'll send it to an Airtable G Sheets or Google Sheet, and then we'll send that response back to a thread in Slack. So just an easy way to brain dump your ideas, or instead of copying and pasting things around, we're going to set up this system. That's kind of my idea on that. All right, so now we need to get the file. So what we're going to do is, again, I'm going to run using this as it exists one that we already did. So here's that run. So we'll take this, just run once. All right, why did it not? All right, let's try this again. Did it? Oh, there it is. No, that's probably the one we just did. Okay, so I went back to the first one. All right, don't know why it didn't do that second one, already ran it. So I will do another quick voice memo. Here's my Slack channel. All right, doing another quick voice memo because the first one went through, but it didn't save there or something. So recording another one, and we'll send this off. Okay, so quick voice memo there, click send, and now it's sent in that Slack channel. So now we'll come back to here, and we should have it. So we're going to go run once, use existing data. And now, there we go. So now I went through there, and it got the file. Look at the file here. What do we have? File data. So this is how make whatever the data is in the background. And you got the transcription. So for some reason, it doesn't send the transcription over. I'm not really sure why Slack or Make doesn't do that. So that's where we're going to have to, we got the file, and now we can send it right into OpenAI. So we'll connect that back. And we're going to, it's going to map it, Slack, got a file, model. We're going to choose Whisper. And then response format JSON, that works. Prompt, I don't really need a prompt for this, and we're just going to leave it at that. And I don't need any advanced settings. So now we'll just save this. I don't know why that pops up sometimes, even though I saved it. We'll save again. Now that's gone. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it again. Run this one. Run once, and we're going to get a transcription out of here. All right. So now let's look here, and we have, here's transcription. All right, doing a quick voicemail because it's the first one I went through, didn't save, blah, 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 blah. Got that. Awesome. So now that we have that transcription. And so the next thing that I want to do, we look back at my plan, is we're going to go into a make agent. So we're going to do that. On this branch here, agent. So there's make agents here. Now there are a couple ways we can do this. We can do an agent, or we can actually do another. I think agent might be the better way to do it. Yeah, we'll just do that. Create agent context file. Now this is also, I've done one agent before in Make, so I'm still kind of learning this too. So a little bit of learning here, but the idea behind this whole live stream is build something out live. You can kind of see my thinking, ask questions. So feel free, anybody want to ask questions or anything, and just hopefully I can teach people how to use Make and automate stuff. So we're going to run an agent. And this one, okay, so first we need to build an agent. I think we can do it right from here. Okay, cool. So there's my connection agent name. We're going to say Slack voice collection, something like that. Which model? Oh, they only have Gemini. Okay. For this I'm just going to do, let's do a flashlight for now. I can look up the pricing to see which ones are better, because it's going to be a simple one. Now, we're going to do, oh yeah, we got to define this. So the system prompt will be your goal is to, let's do this. Determine, I gotta think of a good prompt for this. So your goal is to determine what your task is to determine what the goal/outcome of the input is. Actually, as I think about this more, because I did agent once, and what you have to, agent is actually designed to, I think it's sent to other scenarios. So yeah, we can do, all right, so the thread, Ooh, I haven't done this work for a while. I'm gonna do a slight change of plans here. Yeah, it's been a while. I gotta look that up, and it might take a little bit to look up how to exactly run the agents. Because if we go to the agents over here, you have to create an agent, and they have a bunch of videos in here on how to set them up. Yeah, so it's been a little bit since I've done this, so I'm not gonna do this. We can accomplish this another way. That's the beauty of these automation software. There's 99 different ways to do everything. So I'm actually gonna remove this. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do another, no, we're gonna do a simple OpenAI. Going to, actually, you know what? Instead of doing that, Make has their own Make AI toolkit. We'll use that. Simple text prompt. I think there's, categorize text. Analyze text and assign categories from the list you define. That should apply exactly what we need here. So we're going to connect this over here. And let's look inside here. We have the model. Again, this is just a simple one, so I'm going to use probably the cheapest one because all we're doing is categorizing. So text categorize. This is going to be either, okay, so either the text, but here's what else we're going to do. Oh, categories. All right, we're going to say based on, all right, so we're going to say social media and say email, idea / brain dump, and we'll say research. Okay, return an explanation for the categorization. I don't think we need that. And that'll be everything here. Okay, we'll save that. Let's save this. Now, the way routers work in Make, if you're not familiar with it, it always goes, you can see which branch it is. So it says first and second, it always goes down that order. Now, if it goes down a branch, this output here doesn't necessarily connect, or it doesn't connect over here. So what this reads, like I can't get the output of the OpenAI, the output, and then just plug it in here. It doesn't show up here because it's a different branch. But there is a way to do that, and you use variables in Make. So if I open a tool and I say set multiple variables, I connect this over here. Now we're going to set the variable. What are we going to call the variable? We'll just say transcription. And the value is going to be just the text output. Okay, we're going to save that. And now we're going to send that variable. But what we're going to do is we want to copy this because you need this exact word for what I'm going to do next. And now over here, we're going to add another module in. So I'm going to right click, add a module. What we're adding here is another in the tools, but this time, so we set the variable before over here. Now we're going to get a variable. I was like doing the multiple, it doesn't matter, but if you just do the one variable, either set one variable or get one variable, then you're limited to just that one. I always do multiple because I may need to add in more variables later on. So if I do that, and now the variable, what we're going to do, what variable do we want to get? We need to put that same one in that we set up here. So now the way this works is if it goes down this first branch, and then it's going to get the variable, or it's going to do the transcription, set the variable, and then now when it goes down this branch, it's going to get that variable. Now I can use that output, which is basically this output over here. What we're going to do is I'm going to also, the way routers work is they go down every branch every time, unless you put filters in. So far for this, we only need 2 branches. This branch, I'm going to set this here as the fallback, meaning if it doesn't go down this branch, then it will go down this branch. or wait, do I want, no. So if it doesn't go down here, it'll go down here. But if it does, no, I do want it to go down. Never mind. It's going to go down. Yeah, I got to take this off. It's going to go down there every time. Okay. Get the variable. And then now in here, what we're going to do, categorization. How does this work? Okay, so I have the text from here, but first thing we're going to do is, if it's a transcription, I want to take that transcription first and use that. If not, I want to take the text. For in case it's not a voice memo, you just type text in, or if you say put a link in, something like that. So the way we're going to do this, I'm going to put a little formula in here. Nice thing about Make is you can put formulas within your modules to work better or to accomplish certain things. So in this case, I'm going to do an if empty, and we're going to take the transcription. So if that transcription, if it doesn't have one, meaning it doesn't go down the first path, it just goes down here. If it's empty, then use a semicolon, which is, if you're familiar with Excel and Google Sheets, it's the comma when you're doing formulas, but in Make, it's a semicolon. If that's empty, then use the text from here. And then now just close the parentheses, and that's the way that'll work. So now we'll save this. So now let's go ahead and save it, and I'm going to run this once. I'm going to see the output we get here. Actually, that is... Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that simple voice that I did, which is not really any of those categories, we'll see how it categorizes it. So I'm going to take this again. We're going to run once. Goes down that branch, transcribes it. Okay, so we got an error here. You exceed your current quota. Please check. Oh. So I need to... Why is it connecting to my... Oh, I guess I set that up. Okay, so if I add a new connection for this one, you get to choose and then use your own. Oh, I guess I set that up a while ago. Okay, so I'm just going to do this one. We're going to go to... I'm going to do the same one that we've been doing. Model. This is going to be a simple, whatever the cheapest one. I think the cheapest one now is currently GPT-5 Nano. Yeah, I think that is. So we go OpenAI pricing. We can look. Yeah, so look at all the pricing here. I'm not going to dive deep into this right now, but where's that other? I had another page that shows better on the pricing. But yeah, so you look here, you can see what the input and output tokens are to see the pricing. And I think right now that the Nano is the cheapest. And we just need cheap right now for this one, just doing a basic categorization. So we'll keep that. I'll just do GPT-5 Nano. I can always research that later. And let's go and run this again. So I'm going to run this again. Run once. All right, here we go. So now it's working. Okay. So let's look at the output here. So we got the input there, categories, and the output. So it did it as brain dump or idea/brain dump. Does that make sense? Text appears casual note, a raw note about recording a voice memo, sending it off. Line of jet. Yep. Okay. Cool. Reason. That's weird. It brought the reason, but it didn't return an explanation for the categorization. I have it on no. What if I had on yes? Let's try this out. I haven't done this yet. I want to see. So we have, yeah, so we turn on yes, because that did give the reason here. I'm going to do this again. Run once. All right, so I'll put this. So it still gives the reason. Huh, that's interesting. Maybe that's glitch. By the way, I don't really need it. I'm just going to turn that off. I don't know if it costs anymore, but whatever. We'll do that for now. Okay, so now we have that. Now let's go back to my plan here, and we have So we're change this out to a, what do we call it? The make categorizer. And now we're going to go down on these branches. So what we can do here is we can do another router. So we're going to do flow control, router, and then now in this, we just need to set the filters up. So if we choose we go to the category is equal to, say, idea/brain dump. Now go down this one, paste that in, save. And now we do this one, which will then, let's do this. Oh, shoot. That's not what I wanted. Okay, copy that. All right. Now I'm going to come back here. This is going to be the category again is equal to, we'll do social media. Oops. I'll fix that. We're going to do another one. This one is going to be research. And another one is going to be email. So now again, I'll put in the category is email. This one is research. Gotta select category. And then email here. No, social media. Save. Okay, brain dump. There we go. We have all these. So again, what we're going to do is, let's see. Let's start with, let's do an email. So this one, I want to do Claude. I'm going to choose Claude, Anthropic by Claude, simple text prompt. We're going to do create prompt new. That's creating a prompt. We're just going to do, simple text prompt. Okay, so inherent model, this one would be simple. Sonnet would probably be the best. I'm just going to do a basic one for now. We'll do Claude Haiku, text prompt. Oh wait, what do they have for the advanced in this one? They don't have, okay. So you are let's do this. You're an expert email marketer. Take the input and craft an email based on the input. Obviously, we come up with a better prompt than that, but this is just something to starting out with right now, and we can tweak over time. So you're an expert email marketer. Take the input, and craft an email based, and craft an email. All right. Obviously, make a better prompt than that. I'm just going to do that for now. Because it's really just getting the whole structure of this thing set up, and we always tweak the outputs later. So there's that one. Now I can clone this. I can bring this over here. We're not going to do that one in the research. I'm going to unlink it, move it over to this one. And now in here, we're going to say you are an expert at social media posting. Take the input and craft or write a social media post for Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. Let's do this for now. I can add more in later. We'll just do 3 of them because probably what I would want to do. I shouldn't post. I would actually probably want to branch it out even further to have further or more better prompts for each social media. But we'll just do this for now to get, again, the structure down. So we got that. Brain dump idea. Let's just do, change it up. We'll do OpenAI. We're going to go with, and this one is simple, nano. Actually, I already did this previously, so I'm going to take this one, the transcription, go find it. All right. This is what I did in my other one. So I have extract 3 to 8 words that capture the main topic, focus on out what's the key messages, keep it practical and scannable, transcription, and then the text, or we'll say input. And then here, we're going to choose the output of this. No, again, we're going to, same thing. We're going to do if empty, and we're going to choose the transcription, and if not, we're doing the text from the message. And actually, so that's the topic, and then the summary. In my previous one, I had this split up into multiple OpenAI or multiple modules. I can just do this as one. I don't know why I didn't do that before. So we're going to do that. I'm going to add in here. We're going to take this out. We're going to say using the following input, your task is to output a title, a summary, and the raw transcript using the following criteria below. Actually, I don't need to have the raw transcript. That doesn't need to be there. Okay, using the following input, your task is to output a title and a summary using the following criteria below. Extract 3 to 8 words that capture the main topic. Focus on that. And then the input. Oh, and then let's see, put this over here. We will say title. Even do this. So then it knows better that's what you're doing. And we'll do the same thing over here. Summary. Into a short 1-3 paragraph summary input. Okay. Input down there. So there's a fairly simple. Yep, that should be good. All right. Save that. And now let's go ahead and run this once. Let's see what happens. Run once. All right, cool. It's going up there. That means it passed the right filter. And let's see our output here. So our output here, we have text, title, re-recording voice memo send, summary. Okay, that's good, but we need to make this a little bit better. Just go reference my other one. I had summarize. Okay. And let's do, okay, I'm learning this JSON. So let's do example output. All right, so the way we would do this, we would say, ooh, am I gonna do that? No, we're gonna say, oh, yeah, so we're doing title. And then we are, how would I do that? I think title. Summary. And I think this is the way I would do it. Let's see if I did that right. All right. What I can do here, to make it simple, instead of going and transcribing this every time and say costing money for each token, I can take this output here, I'll copy this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlink this for now, and I'm going to add in do a set variable. Stop. Need to change the starting. We're going to do this, and then whatever, doesn't really matter the variable name, and I'll put that in. And so for now, we're going to just change this up. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I can't do that. Never mind. Wait. Oh, now I can do it this way. Transcription, variable name there. So set it, use it there, and then that's fine, doesn't really matter there. But now let's do this output again. So let's try this one more time. Right, this time I can just do run once, run anyway. Okay, it's doing that. Category. All right, we're going to remove this for now. And same thing up here. We're going to move that. It doesn't like that they're not actual variables. So I'm going to run this once. Let's go through here. Categorize it. Should go up here, and we should get hopefully a useful output. See our output here. Okay. Nice. So we have it in JSON there. Perfect. So now you don't have to use JSON, but sometimes it's easier for AI to use. Okay, recording your transcript, save time. Summary, speaker explains, blah, blah, blah. Good. But I don't know if I'm going to try this. Let's do set variable. Is it actually? Okay, it didn't do that right. All right. So another thing that we can do, so we don't have that. Okay. I can probably output it not in JSON and just have it outputted a different way, but let's just do this. We can go to JSON and we can parse JSON, and then we'll take the result there. Yeah, and so let's try this again. Because this way I can have it break up into multiple sections that I can use, say, later on somehow if I want to use that. Like if I want the title to be separated from the summary. So now we actually have, we have two different outputs. And that's great. So next, say I want to send this back to a Slack message. So I'll go back to Slack and we will put in send a message. Yeah, I think, send a message. And then here we're going to select from list, private channel, because that's how I made it. And we're going to say, what did I say? Voice is Slack. All right. The text, we're going to put, we're just going to put the title. We'll say title. Let's do summary. Let's see what did I have over here? Oh, yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do it this way. Okay, so I have topic here, topic, title, same thing. So put it there. Summary will be summary, and then the transcription is going to be the original transcription, which will be, we'll go transcription. Okay. We also need I wanted to do a thread. So we turn on advanced settings, we go thread. So now we need the actual thread ID from the original module. So we're going to have to do that. We'll have to go back and unlink this and connect it back there. Move the starting module back to Slack. Go open up Slack here. Go back to advanced settings. Now we can go down to the thread ID and come back and find Slack. So thread ID is the timestamp. So we got a timestamp right here. So we use that timestamp. Reply broadcast, link names, no parse message. Don't need any of that. I can change all this, but not important right now. We just want that message to come back. All right. So let's go ahead and save this. And let's run this and see how this looks now. Shall be good. Yeah. We're going to run once. What did I do? Input. Wait. Oh, that's because I chose this module to start. Yeah, okay, so that was not right. That was this one. We're going to go back a couple before. Run once. Let's see, that should work. There we go. Goes there. And now there. Okay. So now if we look back at Slack, and boom, now we have, close this up. Now we have a reply back to this message. So I can just open this up, and now we see we have a reply here. And so that is great. We have the topic, and then we have the summary of what it was, and then here's the transcription. Great. Now, one other thing that we have to do is, I know if we back out of this, yeah, we record in queue, because this is looking for every new event in that channel. Since this is a new event, essentially, if we keep it the way it is, this is going to be a loop. That's just going to keep looping, because you have the first message that goes, and then it sends another message. So that's another automation here, or another event in that channel. So then it would actually go send again, and it'd be a never-ending loop. Luckily, I have this off, and so it wasn't doing that, because you would just have all these different, you just have a never-ending loop. All right, so what we got to do that is we're going to have to come in here, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a filter in, and the filter is going to be, thread timestamp. So if there's a thread in that, then that would exist. So actually, if I ran this once, for the one that's in queue, we would get a thread timestamp here. So what we're going to do thread timestamp does not exist, meaning it's only the first message that's sent in the channel. I can put a label, but it doesn't matter. So save it. And now I'll run this once to show you, to clear the queue. So that is that thread that came back. See, that's the thread there. And so we have a thread timestamp. So this is where, only if this does not exist, go through. So we'll just say original message only, something like that. All right, so now we got that. Now it'll send back there. Cool. So let's actually save this. Let's turn it on and do a complete test. So I'll bring this back here. And I'm going to do a voice memo. All right, so I'm testing this automation, and this is for just an idea that I had. We're building this live on YouTube. And so this is testing here. I want to see how this summary comes back. But yeah, this is just an idea I had. So I come back and I send it. And let's see how, I can do this. We can watch it. So there, now it's going through there. You can see it going through up there. And now we're going to see it. So it's still running. There we go. Now we got a reply here. Open it up. Testing automation for YouTube Live. The speakers testing automation workflow, tests related to ideas, blah, blah, blah. And there's the transcription. So boom, now I have that. So now I can use this to just brain dump ideas, then get a summary. So I can sit there and talk for, say 5 minutes on some idea I had, get a summary of it, get the original transcript, and now I just have this thread going on. What I can also do, the other thing I want to do now is, see how it ran again, but it got stopped by the filter. That's what we want. Good. The other thing I want to do is I want to add in, we go to Airtable or Google Sheets. So we'll say, I'll just do Google Sheets for now. I'm going to do add a row. I'm going to do sheets.new, start a new spreadsheet. I'm going to zoom in here. Let's do Slack voice or Slack messages from ideas, whatever, something like that. What I want to do here, I want to do, say, timestamp. Let's do topic, summary, summary raw message, something like that. You might want to add more, but we'll just do this for now. Bold and view, freeze, up to one row. All right, cool. So now we'll go back to make here. Spreadsheet ID, we're going to choose the Slack, what do I call it? Slack message from ideas, yeah. Sheet name, sheet 1. I'm going to map everything out. So timestamp. The timestamp is just so we know the actual. Nope, we're going to go back to the original one. So we ever need to, say, use in the future or set something up, maybe want to add multiple threads coming in. But this will be a great way to find that actual message. Topic will be the title here, summary, and the raw message will be the, we're going to do the if empty. We're going to say transcription. If it's empty, it's going to be the original message, the text. Close the parenthesis. I'm good there. Okay. So we're getting somewhere. So now we got that built out. Awesome. Social media one. Yep. All right, we'll do this. And I'm not going to do the JSON on this one just for simplicity now. But if I highlight both of these, hold Shift, and you can draw a box and highlight them. Command C, Command B, paste it in. Now go here. Now we just need to map it. So what we're going to do is, in this case, I'm going to do a little different now. Example output. Let's do Facebook. We'll say post. Then we'll say LinkedIn. Ooh. And we'll say X. All right, should get, or maybe if I put on next line, that would be better. Easier to copy and paste. Let's do that. Let's see how that turns out. Then we go over to Slack message and we can just remove all of this because now we can just select the result. Save that. Still got the timestamp there, good. And then adding the row, timestamp, topic. Okay, so now we won't have that split up. Okay, so I would have to split that up separately. So for now, I'm just going to throw it in here. Well, this I can still get the raw message. Yeah, we still need that. Okay. Well, I'd have to split it up between the summary and the topic, which I can do later. Okay, let's test this one out. So now I'm gonna come back here. Let's do this. Let's do write me a social media post on the benefits and the usage of using make.com, their new agents, and provide a hidden feature that people would know about. Let's see how that works. All right, let's send this off. Bring this back here, because it should go down the right branch now. It should go down there. And we should get a good output. Hey, Jerry. I have to prep for a meeting in 5. Thanks for bringing Spanish afternoon. I love the building format as I see your decision-making process. Thanks. Awesome. Glad to hear. Hopefully you learned some things, and that's happy to hear that. That's awesome. All right. So now we're back here, and we have the reply. So let's pull that up. I'm ready to help. Please provide me with the input content. Okay, so this prompt's going to need a little bit of work because that didn't quite work that way. Come back here. Let's take a look at it. All right. I come back out of here, go to history, which will be this one. If I wanted to go see the outputs of this, so let's look at Claude. Let's do the output. Prompt. Okay, post. Oh, well, that was dumb there. Post linked. Okay. So what was the result? Please provide me with input. You can share. Wait, text prompt. Well, actually the big reason. Okay, so we go back in here, go back to diagram, and we go into here. I didn't actually give it the input, so it didn't know what it was doing. It wasn't summarizing anything. Sample output. Okay. Input. Duh, need that. So now we're going to do, again, that if empty, and do a transcription, and then if not, the text. Close that. Let's just, what about Facebook post, LinkedIn post, Twitter post. Okay. That, and let's try this one more time. We also check the Google Sheet. Oh, forgot to do that. Unbold that, close this up. But now we have, so we have the message here, timestamp. Ooh, another thing I want to add in, I'd like to do this. Let's do insert to the right. I like to do date/time, just for record. Now we'll come back, go back to Google Sheet, but now we need to refresh this data or get the latest column changes. So I'm going to highlight all this, move it down here, move that down here, timestamp good. Now date and time, I'm going to grab, come over, I forgot, I think I could do this. Yeah, we're going to choose a timestamp, but we're going to do, so if we go to the calendar section here, if I remember, I think it's parse date. And if I put in the timestamp, if I think I would just leave it that way, it gives me a good output, if I remember right. That's what we're going to do. Save that. This is how I would test this. I would actually come back. I'll click in here. I'm going to grab that timestamp, copy it. So right click and copy. And I'm coming here. Nope. Where was it? Here. And I'm going to replace this for now and just put in the actual data. We're going to do this. I'm going to do this one. I'm just going to connect over here. This is how I'm going to just test something. So I'll open this up. We'll clear this out. I'll paste that in. I think this is the right one to parse it, because if we go back here, the parse date, paste a string of the date and returns the date. Yeah, here, so it should return it that way. Okay, so let's save this. Now I just come in here and run once. See the output. January 9th, 1:49. Yep, right now it's January 9th, 3 p.m. So, well, based on time zone, close enough. But I mean, that's correct. All right, so I know that. I'm going to unlink this now. I'm going to come back into the Google Sheet here. And now we can take this out and we can just put in the timestamp. But the thing is, so the way that was, that gave this output. Maybe I don't want this output. So now I'm going to come back, and once we have it parsed, I'm going to do the next one of format date, because now this is the output. So now I should be able to take this, and if I wanted to say be, we're going to do month dash day dash year. Yeah, month dash day dash year. And if I do, say for time, HH:MM, and say A, that would be for AM or PM. So now I'll give the month, day, year, the hour, and the minutes. By doing 2 M's is going to have the leading 0 if it's, say like January through September, it'll do 01 or 02 or 03. Same thing with the date there. If you don't want that, you would just remove that, and then it'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12. Depending, totally however you want. But if we do this, so that'll work there. Now I can just copy all of this, save. I will also show you, if I go to my useful links, right here, so tokens for date and time formatting. If I copy this, and then I go to new tab, this makes all the variables you can use for date and time. So here you can see if I use 2 capital Y's, it'll give the year in just the ending, the 2-year digit. If I do 4 capital Y's, I'll give the full year. Any year with number of digits and sign. Year with any number of digits and sign. Not really sure what that one means. But you can go through here, and so you can format the date, and then you have the week, time, lowercase, uppercase, all of this if you need the week number. So this is how you can go and get the correct output that you want for your date and time formatting. I reference this one a lot when I make building automations. So we have that. Now I wanted to go back up here, and I wanted to paste in. Yeah, we're going to have to do this. Oops, not that one. Again, let's move this down here. And then go back to my date. That one. There. So now we have that in there. Save that. We're good. Okay, so we got that done. One more thing here before I probably sign off for this session till I'll probably do this again next week. Damn, this is kind of fun. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do one more. And now there's other ways to kind of clean this up and optimize it, but this is just initial, starting out, obviously better prompts. I can have other different paths, different routes based on what the input is, based on the output. But the other thing I'm going to do now is just to show you, since we did OpenAI, we did Claude, the other one now, say for research. So this one, best I'm going to use Perplexity. So we're going to set Perplexity up. Perplexity, create a chat completion. So now in this one, no, okay. I'll just go with their sonar. That's their basic one. Message, and now content. So the content will be, again, we'll do this. No, wait, we need here. Copy this. Back here, make it easy. That's the content. Oh, the rule. Oh, no. Wait. All right, we're going to do, this is going to be system. Okay. You are a helpful research assistant. And now this one, we're going to do the assistant. And this, the prompt I'll come up with is, I'm going to go to ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity, whatever one. And in here, I'm just going to say, write me a basic for taking an input and doing research on the input for just producing research based on the input. This is just a simple one just to get more information on the topic. The input could be just an idea. It could be from a URL, but I just need a little bit more details for the research. So provide an output. I want the output to have a TLDR on top, followed by several bullet points, followed by a 2-paragraph summary. You're a research assistant. I will give you an input. Just that. And then now we're going to add in one more. This one is going to be the user. And this will be my empty there. Okay. And let's go ahead and copy this again. Place this down here. This time we're just going to do the, so this was under choices, message, content. So the content there, the output, and we'll save that. Google Sheet. We're going to have a timestamp date in there. I can put it down here. Put this over here. That would still be raw message. And this one will be, again, also that output. Choices, message, content. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. All right, let's try this. Let's do. Okay. Let's try text here. Perform research on make.com AI agents. It's a fairly new feature within the past year. I haven't done a whole lot of building with the AI agents, but I want to learn more. So research from it and see how it can help me in my workflows. Okay, so this time I'm doing I'm dictating, and I'm sending out, instead of doing a voice transcription, we're going to do it this way. So I'm going to send here. Let's see what type of research we get back. Oh, failure. What was that failure for? Okay, again, we got this. Oh, transcription. Did I not? Oh, I didn't update it. If it's empty, we need to use the text. Here we go. Okay. So now let's, all right, save that. Let's run this again. Come back here. Run once. Ooh, operation failed. What do we have here? After the optional system message, user or tools message should alternate the system message. Oh, that's right. Okay, so there is one in ChatGPT and in Claude. I think maybe they changed it up or create a prompt. Yeah, so if you do this, I'll just show you. Oh, they changed up. They don't have that anymore. Huh. Okay. Maybe. Let's try OpenAI. Okay, so if you do generate a response, generate a chat completion. So if you do it this way, this is a little bit more, this is a very basic one. So this is just, you have your input and your output, kind of like you use in ChatGPT. But this one here, creating a chat completion. So do they change it up? No, yeah, message. So this is where, as I was doing in Perplexity, you set the different roles. There's the user, assistant, system, and then now there's a new one with OpenAI. There's different different ways of using this, and this has also been like you have the user, which would be what my input is. You give the system a role. It's kind of like if you were to go write a big prompt in ChatGPT, you start with you are a helpful assistant. Here's my input. Produce this type of output. You kind of give it the roles, but this you do it here, kind of split up, so it gives a little more control. So I was getting at with that. Perplexity, and I've noticed they need it in a specific way. The role of the speaker in this turn of conversation. After the optional system message, user and assistant roles should alternate with user, then assistant, ending in user. See, I don't fully understand that. So we have to have the user first. So we'll rearrange this. We got user, and then assistant. But I don't get why you would have, that's the thing that I got to figure that out. It says user and assistant role should alternate with user, then assistant, ending in user. What is my input going to be? I'm just going to try this and see if it works. Because I've already given my input. What is my other input after the assistant? See, you must have, all right. Got to figure this out offline here, but we'll do this. What is the results? Or what are the results? I don't know. Is that like, I don't know, let's try this again. Okay, just want to run that. Yeah, because the input, what is my second input? I don't know. We'll see what it gets. Let's see here. Should get. Doing some good research, I guess. All right. Well, there we go. Cool. Got output. That worked. Let's see what our result is. Ooh, wow. Okay. Bank.com TLDR. AI agents let you embed LM based decision making directly into make scenarios so that they can reason about goals, choose tools, modules, scenarios, and run multi-step workflows autonomously. They're especially useful for fuzzy tasks, routing, summarizing, drafting, decision logic that are hard to capture with fixed rules. And they stay inside the visual make environment you already know. So what that is saying is that's saying, like right now, this is, well, I guess this kind of does it, categorize text. But if I were to say use a router, if I didn't have this and I use the router, then I would have to have fixed outputs. Like that's kind of what this is. If there's a file that exists, go down this path. If not, go down this path. Or if this keyword exists, go down this path. So it's more of, it's like hard set rules. But without that, by using the make agent, that input, it takes the input, kind of like what this does, and it uses AI to determine what's my output going to be, or which tool do I need to use. And then you would have different tools set up, and it would go down the appropriate branch based on the AI deciding what is the best route for this. So anyways, that's what the AI agent does. A little bit more work to set up, but it can be pretty powerful. And then here we have the key points, how this can help your workflows, use agents, more traditional. And then we have summary, makes AI agents extend the platform from classic to rule-based. In your workflows, this becomes most valuable. So now we have this. Cool. And one more thing. Actually, I'm going to save it before I lose it. We'll go back to the spreadsheet here. And let's look. What do we have here? Okay. So there's our first one. Here's that next one. And we have the time. So see how the time came. Month, day, year, time. There's our timestamp if we ever need that. Topic summary, I didn't fill those in. Here's the original, the raw message. Perform research on make.com. It's a fairly new feature, blah, blah, blah. And then here's that output. Okay. We're looking pretty good here. That's the automation here. So I built this whole thing out in about an hour, a little over an hour. We can go add more branches in there. We can do a lot more with this. Obviously, I'd make better prompts. So I'd go back and I would iterate multiple times. But then we can there's several other things that we can do. You can send the data pretty much wherever you want. But now with this, you can you're on the go, you have an idea, and then do a voice memo to Slack. You'll come back and then you'll just have that listed. You'll have it in your Google Sheet, which you can go and review later. We could even set this up to go to, say, different tabs of the Google Sheet. Like that would probably be an idea. Have one tab that is social media, one tab that is email, one tab that is just ideas. And you come in there and you can look and see. And then further on with that, we can set things up. Say on the social media tab, we have another column and maybe we put in a checkbox or a drop down, and you come in and say, yes, send. And that can trigger a separate automation to go through, for example, Make, to then actually post it to, say, this specific social medias. So you come in here and you can review it yourself, make edits, and then say, check a box, send it into the social media. But now you have this as the output that you can just use however you need. But this is now a system that can be set up to capture all your information. A lot of times just easier instead of this. Now you have one central location for all this instead of, well, wait, let me go and write my ideas down on this notepad. Let me go write my social media ideas down in Airtable or do this and jump around different areas. You can just come to one Slack channel, Telegram, whatever you want, do that. And then you can set that up so you have like your one central spot for when you're on the go. I believe that is it that I'll cover. And I'll just cover if there's any other, if you want to dive deeper into the stuff, ask more questions, get more in-depth with me, then you can join my Click Launch Elite or my Click Launch Academy. And here I have, we have trying to build this back up, but I have members in here. And then I also have some events or calendar, and we have some courses in here to learn high level, to learn stuff about Make, automations in general. But if you have any type of questions, troubleshooting like that, feel free to join my community and I'll be able to help you guys out. I'm going to be adding a lot more content here like this once I build this out and get a little bit more optimized, get better prompts in here and get a little bit better structure. Then this I will have in the learning section, and you'll be able to go and download this template and actually use it for yourself. with Make, you can just come up to here and you can import blueprints. So I'll be able to provide that. And I'm going to be making other tutorials like this. What I'll probably be doing is I'll probably be going live and try to go like once a week, do something like this and put it in there and just be able to produce more content for my audience and hopefully teach more people how to use automations with Make, high level, Zapier, whatever it may be. I also want to eventually learn N8N, so maybe I'll get into that. With that being said, I've been on here for a good amount of time and I got this built out, so I will leave it at that. And actually, it looks like a couple people joined. Hey, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to hop off here. It's about to hop off, but if you have any questions and you just joined, I was just building out this scenario. Let me pull up my other. This was my pre-planning in the beginning. Ooh. Where I had this idea for a, come on. Shoot, there we go. Yeah, so I could have done that. I had this idea for Slack message to then transcribe, or if it's just a text I input and then output different outputs based on if I want an email written, a social media post written, idea, or just an idea brain dump, or do some research. And so by doing that, I'll go back to here. Here's a couple of tests that we did on this. I built this out live. So I just did a quick audio transcription here, and then it came back and did a reply in my Slack. So now I have the topic, the summary, and the original transcript. Then we did it again, and this was a little bit different, another test. Yeah, then this one was for writing a social media post. This one didn't work the first time until we went and fixed it. I just didn't run it again. And then this is the last one where I actually typed something out, do some research, and then it produced this research output that I have here. All right, so that concludes my first live stream on YouTube. It was actually pretty fun, and I will see you guys next time. We're going to do this again next week. All right.